This is Lord from Africa, aka Rant, and in today's video, I want to talk about why Looksmaxxing is really overrated. Rant, and I want to shout out Noxular Pain for this video topic. Shouts out to you, man, and the rest of you guys tuning in. But without further ado, let's get into today's video topic. Now, I want to firstly clarify in the video that there is nothing wrong with exercising. There's nothing wrong with if you have some acne that you want to get rid of, buying a few products to get rid of that, or heck, even just making your own gym at home so you can make your body more lean and work on yourself that way, on your posture and everything, and Looksmaxx a little bit accordingly to that format. There's nothing wrong with that. But you see, the issue is when you start taking it to a point to where you're risking your whole life and your health in the long term, to where 6 or 7 years later down the line, like you see with all these guys doing right now that are promoting all these unknown supplements to take, they're doing all these things such as called hammer mewing for their jaw to make it more lean and more sharp. When you start doing all these things, this is just pure foolishness and insecurity. Because for one, these are just a bunch of people that can't accept the fact that they're never going to be attractive. And this is just the outright truth. Now, there's nothing wrong with, as I said seconds ago, trying to level yourself up naturally by exercising every day. Much power to you, much grace to you. And just trying to go out your way to really make yourself look nice. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that in a natural sense, but when you start doing it over the top to where you're taking all of this just dumb regurgitated advice online about what you should do to your jaw, how many facial surgeries you should get. Guys, it's gotten so bad to a point to where men are trying to get leg lengthening surgery to where they break the bones in their legs so they can look taller. I mean, this is how bad Looksmaxxing has got, and this stuff has become just really toxic, because all this is doing is, when you have especially lonely people out here, especially the modern man who sees all of these things and he's not getting any results in meeting people, he's not having any luck in his romantic life, he's going to start to think that I have to do all this over the top stuff just to get results, when in reality it's really not worth the effort. Because for one, you're working on your face to this large maximum extent. You're trying to do all these things to stand out, when in reality, you're doing this all to just get with a person who never loves you or is going to leave you anyway. Even if you manage to get their attention and they call themselves trying to go out with you, they're just going to leave you, because that is the cycle of life. People come and go in your life. People are like flies. They fly to you and then they fly to the next area. And it's as simple as that. And a lot of people are not going to like hearing that, because it's going to shatter their whole hopes of Looksmaxxing to get that one person, or being highly respected and told how good looking they are. And this is the exact truth. I mean, this all stems from an insecurity of not being able to accept that you can only level up so much in your looks. You can only level up so much as further as your life experiences go. If you can't control what comes in your life, I mean, what makes you think that you're going to all of a sudden morph and change into this being physically, to where you get all these cosmetic surgeries, you get all this leg lengthening done, you take all these unknown supplements that are possibly hurting your body, right? You do all of this stuff. What do you think is going to come out of that? When in reality, the things that you're chasing after, they're completely meaningless at the end of the day, because it's not long lasting. The type of respect that you want right now from people, the type of notoriety that you may want from your opposite gender or whatever, it's not worth it. Because if you were meant to be like this, then you would have been like this in the beginning. Or let's even say, if you put in a few results to where you're exercising, going to the gym, hitting it like that, you're getting rid of acne, you're doing natural things to really help with yourself facial wise, then there's only a level to how much you can level up. So that's, as I said before minutes ago, there's nothing wrong with doing that. But when you start taking it over the top to where now this is becoming such a trending topic of just a bunch of people that are broken inside trying to pretend that they are glorified Adonises or whatever, trying to be the next trending topic. This is when we have a real big issue here. And I even had a few people message me on the gram, right, which I rarely check because of everything that I'm going through, talking about Looksmaxxing, talking about all these things that they should do. And I completely think that if you're doing all this over the top stuff, which is Looksmaxxing in 2025 right now, with all of these like just entertainers online that is promoting all of this extremist views on how to get your looks up, I think that it is a complete foolish waste of time. You aren't doing anything that is really relevant to your life anyway, because at the end of the day, you need to be focused on how you're going to make enough financial gain to live in this society. I mean, all this other stuff aside about wanting to get people's attention, wanting to feel accepted, having to always be the center of everyone else's thoughts and wanting to feel like that you're important, take all of that crap and just throw it out the window. When we start talking about focusing on making more money, that is going to be one of the vocal points to where you're going to need that to really be independent in today's world. You know, all this stuff about wanting to look good for people, this is just a sham. It's a gimmick. This is just another distraction by everything that you see around you that these people want you to gravitate towards to. It's just another meal ticket to grab your money. You know, these cosmetic surgeons, do you really think they care about all of the repercussions you're going to face later on by the fact that they're performing these surgeries on you in the first place? I mean, do you really think that the people that you're wanting to go after for your little validation high moment of, man, this is just the pinnacle of my human experience, having this person tell me that I'm good looking, that I'm special? How do you really think that's going to benefit your life when you should really be focused on trying to get things of your own gain? And this is the problem with a lot of people nowadays, to where they're placing so much importance on how others feel about them. Who cares about how others feel about you? Who cares that people think that you're the most ugliest person on earth? You know, we all come and go on this planet. You're not going to live forever. This is why it's so insecure and really, in a sense, pathetic to how people are just overly caring about their looks. Now, does everyone have moments to where they're insecure in life about how they look, or if you're having a real horrible time and socializing with people, trying to really make it out here? And even when it comes to your intimate life and as such, are you going to feel bad about not having results? Yes, you are most definitely going to feel bad about it. But when you start to take all of these little easy way outs of not accepting the truth, such as this over just hardcore Looksmaxxing thing that's going on, this is when you have a real big delusional issue, and you really have to check yourself on this. You know, because a lot of us, we could easily get carried away by this stuff about this is how you're supposed to look. This is the golden face ratio. Your jawline is supposed to be this asymmetrical. I mean, what is that really going to do for your life? Just getting a couple of people to possibly glance at you, or even with some men that I've talked to who have told me in the comment sections that they've leveled up a few points, and some of them have even gotten facial surgery done, and they still aren't getting anything. You know, I mean, what does this tell you about the world? What does this tell you about how people truly are? People are not going to be loyal to you. People do not care about how hard of an effort you're putting in to look good. They just don't. And even if you manage to get some people to entertain you, I can tell you from experience of a person that's not all that good looking around, or whatever as they may say, right? It's not worth it. Because at the end of the day, people are just going to leave you. That's just how it is. That's the nature of humanity. We are not put on this earth to really unify with each other. And this is what Looksmaxxers, this is what they don't get. And this is why you see a lot of them when they get older and they start getting all these weird little things wrong with their face. It starts sloping down. They start looking even more worse than how they started, when in reality, they could have just exercised. They could have just took normal supplements. They could have just really worked on themselves physically, naturally, and just leveled up a few points. And if they didn't see any results, they should have just accepted and said, okay, this is not me. I'm not that person. I'm never going to be that person. Doesn't matter if you're a man or woman. If you cannot accept who you truly are, and if you cannot accept that something is not for you, then you are living in a fantasy world. You have to come up out of that, because this whole thing of looks maxing, wanting to look better to please other people, that's all it is. Wanting to look better to please other people. And you can't tell me that it's not. Because if it wasn't all about that, then you would just be doing things naturally, generally speaking, as I said before, just to work on yourself a few level of points to just level up in maybe looks category, body category of exercising. You would just be doing that. If it's not all about trying to please other people, you would just be trying to take care of your own health, really. And just really be pleased with looking at yourself in the mirror. You know, learn how to be pleased with yourself. Because other people, I can tell you, when you rely on other people to compliment you, when you keep going out your way to really rely on other people to give you that source of happiness, you're going to continue to be more depressed, and you're going to just go insane. You know, I can barely speak, you know, because it's just like, it's so crazy to me how people are just thinking that this whole looks maxing thing is just going to save their lives and it's just going to redeem them. Not everyone has the same type of potential to level up a lot in the looks category, and you just have to accept it for what it is, man. At some point, it really just becomes so redundant and annoying to see people just keep saying, oh, just looks max, just do all of this and that. It's just another part of the program to get you to be a servant. And we already know that that's all it is at the end of the day. Because if it wasn't, then it wouldn't be promoted. Whatever society is promoting in this mainstream narrative of today's time, it's used as a tool of control. And that should already tell you, if other people are gravitating towards it, you need to stop gravitating towards it. Because what other people are going after a lot is going to become less valuable. And if you have always been a person that has never been accepted, accept that you are unaccepted. Seriously, accept that. And let that be the end of it. So looks maxing, in reality, doing it to the maximum, it's a total waste of time. It's for insecure people, and you're better off just really focusing on your finance, getting yourself together, and staying the heck away from people. You are not going to change how evil people are on the inside and how they want to use you just by looking good. There's lots of people who have met their demise that look good, guys, at the end of the day. But you guys take care. Like and subscribe if you're new. Tell me what else you guys want me to elaborate on in the comment section. I'd highly appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next video. My sinus issue is still making it to where I can barely speak, man. It's brutal, but I'm getting through it. But I'll see you guys in the next video. And like I always tell you guys, stay away from the modern woman. Thank you.